The next thing we wanted to show you in PWM is the ability to cover temporarily for a physician or for a physician group itself. An example of this would be on a weekend itself or covering another provider who possibly might be on vacation or something of that nature. So the way that we do that is we can actually go to inpatient here, click on inpatient in the upper right. Then the next thing we'll do is right here where it says cover selection, click on cover selection. The default is that it wants to pull in a provider group itself. You can choose a provider group if you know the name of a group itself. The other option is to go to the middle here where it says provider and choose individual providers. The third option, which really isn't used by any of our physicians, is location. If there was a specific location you were covering, this is really only applicable in our pediatric type of environment itself, specific units where there's only one physician generally working itself. So our example I'm going to use today is I'm going to go ahead and click on provider, and I'm going to go ahead and say that Dr. Hazan is going to cover for Dr. Blinchik for the weekend itself. So I just start typing the first three letters of the last name, checkmark Dr. Blinchik's name. You'll notice up at the very top here, it automatically checkmarks Dr. Blinchik's name, and I can click OK. Now, if Dr. Blinchik had any additional patients, they would automatically show up for me. This census number up here did not change, so that tells me that Dr. Hazan had 18 patients. There are no additional patients for Dr. Blinchik. The great thing with cover is that any new admissions, transfers, discharges, consults, the activity automatically occurs for me within PWM. So that's how to add someone to cover them temporarily. When the cover period is over, simply come back to cover selection, uncheck their name, click OK, and the list will revert back to what it should be.